Hello there everyone, my name is Clink, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. It is time for the first 3 days of the game. Welcome to Clocktown. So, this is going to be where the main bulk of our side questing is going to be done. I was going to say the adventure, but you know, it all takes place in the world of Termina. Gives me the creeps. That male salesman was the... Sorry, just thinking aloud, but 3 days, even if we never sleep, that still leaves us with a measly 72 hours. Talk about demanding. Well, don't just stand there, we're going to see the Great Fairy. Look, you want to find the Skull Kid, don't you? The Great Fairy will know what he's up to, she watches over everything, and just between you and me, the Skull Kid is no match for the Great Fairy. Go to the shrine near the North Gate, you'll find the Great Fairy in there. So, that's going to be our first task. The vast majority of this game operates on a 3-day timer. You can see it at the bottom there. Something to point out, it runs faster on this 3-day cycle. I think 1 minute is 27 seconds, I want to say, when normally it's 45. But yeah, this is North Clocktown. We're going to say hello to the Great Fairy over here. But as you can see, it's just a bunch of fairies in here. They, oh, there we go. Young one, please hear my plea. I've been shattered and broken and shattered to pieces by the masked Skull Kid. Please find the one stray fairy lost in town and bring her to this fairy fountain. So yes, that is our mission, if we'll ever get to go. But my goal is to show you how to do everything in this game. So we are also going to be doing all of the optional things you can do in this first 3-day cycle, which there's not a lot, but I do want to do it all anyway. The first of which is the Deku Scrub Playground. So this is something you can do at any point in the game, but you can also do it on your first 3-day cycle. It's why I've gotten so many rupees. So we're going to go on ahead and talk to this Deku Scrub and play his game. This is going to get you really good at using the Deku Flower. You have to basically collect all these rupees within 1 minute and 15 seconds. The way I like to play this game is I usually go for this corner piece over here. So you play this minigame 3 times, 1 on each day. It's going to change every day, and it gets harder with each day, although really I think the second day is harder than the third. But we're going to just go 1 platform at a time. As long as you're being kind of careful with this, it shouldn't really be too hard. So we're just going to take our time. Really, these last 2 platforms are the ones that are going to take the longest. The way I recommend approaching this is waiting till the platforms are higher up and using that to just get, you know, height advantage and drop down when they're lower. So we're going to go back over here. Drop down. So the reason I'm doing this is because we are going to be able to get a piece of heart out of this minigame, so you want to do it all 3 days to get the heart piece. So we're going to drop down, we'll make our money back, and we did it in time. So our reward is also very helpful. It's a staggering 50 rupees. And on our way over, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. So we'll go on ahead and leave, and as you can see, it's already 10 a.m. But what I want to do is leave to West Clocktown on our way to get the Stray Fairy. So we're gonna do that. You essentially have to run around looking for the one Stray Fairy that you need to finish up the Great Fairy. Depending on the day of the cycle it is, this will change. On the first day, it's going to be in the laundry pool. On the second day, it's going to be in East Clocktown, and I actually have no idea where it is on the final day. But we're going to obviously get the one in the laundry pool this time. But we're going to come to West Clocktown, talk to this person. Hey there, little guy, won't you deposit some rupees? Nowadays, even if people have money, they don't deposit any. Nothing. So for a limited time, I'll give you a special gift based on how much you deposit. For example, give me 200 rupees and I'll give you something cool. So we're going to go on ahead and deposit... I'm going to deposit 69 rupees because... Not because it's nice, because I'll have a little bit of leeway if I mess up on day 2 of that minigame. And she will stamp you, which is pretty cool. Because the stamp is actually how they contextualize your rupees staying between cycles. It's a neat little touch that I really like. But yeah, I have 30 rupees because we'll get 50 from the minigame, and then I can get a little, in case I fail, I have that leeway. But this is the Stray Fairy that we need here in the laundry pool. So we're gonna go on ahead and grab that. Take it back up to the Great Fairy in North Clock Town. Oh yeah, I never mentioned, but the Deku Scrub, instead of rolling, gets this cool spin. I love this little twirl. That's a really satisfying sound effect, too. But yeah, the first 3 days here are really just meant to get you used to the whole time-based part of the game. But like I said, don't worry, the timer is not always this fast, and there's going to be a way to slow it down. Honestly, the timer really doesn't matter. Like, it does, but it doesn't. I hear a lot of people say that the timer stresses them out when playing the game, and I get it to an extent, especially if you play the 3DS version, where when you slow down time, it's not as slow. But really, you get a lot of time, even like in one cycle, if you do slow it down. Tattle and you, young one of the altered shape, thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. I am the Great Fairy of Magic. I thought that masked child was helping me, and I grew careless. All I can offer you now is this. I shall grant you magic power as a sign of my gratitude. Please accept it. But, like, if if the timer does stress you out, not much you can really do about that in the end, but I feel like whether you like it or not, the game just isn't this game without it. It's so integral to how this game works that it's make or break on whether you enjoy it, but that's kind of why I like it so much. It's very bold and something very unique to have this time loop like this. There's a couple other games that have a time loop, but there's only one that I've played that I thought executed it just as well as this game. And this is where I'm gonna take my chance to shill Outer Wilds immediately. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out here and pop this balloon with our newfound magic power that lets us shoot snot bubbles. So yeah, we don't gotta wait till after the second dungeon to get magic in this game. Are you the one who just popped that up there? Not bad for a Deku Scrub. We bombers have a hideout that leads to the observatory outside town. You need a code to get in. Maybe I'll tell you what it is. But don't think you're getting in that easily. I can't just tell you what the code is. You'll have to pass my test first. Are you ready? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, line up. If you find all 5 of us by tomorrow morning, I'll teach you the code. Are you ready? Yes. So, we gotta find these 5 kids. If you've seen Wind Waker or played it, you know how this works. You need to go around and 5 a bunch of kids. 5 a bunch of kids, find a bunch of kids. Can't speak. But, unlike Wind Waker, this is required, and the bombers are so much more charming to me. But we'll go on ahead and capture the leader. 3 left. So 2 of them are in North Clock Town, 2 of them are going to be in East Clock Town, and 1 of them is going to be in West Clock Town. So we're going to get all of them pretty quickly, to say the least. Really, we're going to finish all of the required stuff within this first day. So yeah, we're moving pretty quick. Gone ahead and follow this kid. 2 more, which one of them's up on this roof. So we're gonna go on ahead and head over this way. And whee! Chase him off the roof. Usually you'll want to keep him on that roof, because the kid is so annoying. If he does this, you can't really get to him. As you can see, he's just going to stay over here, so we're gonna have to reload the whole area, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. I love the Clocktown theme. I just love Clocktown. It's, to this day, the most alive town I've ever seen in a game, because like I was talking about with the whole timer thing, the whole reason this game feels so alive is because of the timer. It, just like any other game, these are all NPCs that really have a set path, but the fact that it's a predetermined cycle, to me, is what makes this whole game work. Because it's a predetermined time loop, it makes their actions not feel as repetitive as it would in another game, because everyone has their own cycle and events and things that they do throughout the 3 days. that it makes Majora's Mask very magical. You're pretty good for a Deku Scrub. If only you were human, then I could give you an original Bomber's Notebook and make you a member. What do you guys think? No way, no scrubs. I guess not. Once we let some kid who wasn't human join our gang, and boy did we ever regret it. Sorry, but I'll teach you the code, just like I promised. I can only tell you once though, so pay close attention. Are you ready? Alright, looks like it is 5-3-4-1-2. Write this down. Because even if you remember it for this brief instance here, you're going to need it again once we get our human form back, so you're going to want to remember it. So we'll talk to this guy over here in East Clocktown. If you want to pass through here, you have to have the secret code, which we're going to look at a lot of the buildings in Clocktown after the first 3-day cycle, but my main goal for now is to, you know, get through this tutorial section. So that's what we're doing. There's a lot of cool stuff at that telescope guy place. And yeah, Bomber Secret Society of Justice forever. So here we go. Let's head over here. And we're going to go to one of my favorite locations in the entire game. Which if you've played Majora's Mask, you probably can understand why. It's just so odd. I love the atmosphere in this game. It's all so good. It's genuinely impressive how well this game turned out. It's one of, like, Majora's Mask is one of the few games that I would actually call a masterpiece of a game. There's a lot of games I think are amazing and fantastic and great, but Majora's Mask is one of the few where I'm like, yeah, nah, this is something else. I love the Astral Observatory. It's so oddly calming to me while feeling oddly terrifying. I don't know, it's almost ethereal in a way. Well, a strange-looking child has joined me today. Are you a new friend of the Bombers gang? Your manners seem much better than those of your mischievous friend from the other day. That ill-mannered troublemaker from the other day said he'd break my instruments. He said he'd steal my moon's tear. There was no stopping him. Even now, just watch him. He's probably causing trouble around the clock tower. He gazed into the telescope. So yeah, we'll go on ahead and zoom in on Skull Kid up here on top. No, hey, it's the moon. How you doing there? Let's go check that out. Well, did you find that troublemaker and that loud noise? What was that? Perhaps another moon's tear has fallen nearby. Go through that door and take a look outside. But I wonder how that troublemaker got on top of the clock tower. The only way up there is through the clock door, and that opens only on the eve of the carnival. Cool moon's tear right here. Oh, whoops. Rare stones valued by many in town, though. We're gonna need to take a note of that, because we're gonna be using it here in a second. But its sparkling beauty radiates rather strangely. So, let's talk about the item menu a little bit. So, much like Ocarina of Time, we have our items menu. This is gonna be the bow stuff. These will be bottles. This is where quest items are gonna be kept. And these are just gonna be your general items. This is gonna be your mask screen, where you can keep your 24 mask that we'll get throughout the game. And then there's the gear and the map screen, just like in Ocarina of Time. So, it's all cool stuff. But we need to go back to town with our tear in hand now and give it away so that we'll be able to get to the door for the carnival. So, you might wonder why I haven't skipped time already if you have played this game. And that's because there's actually something we're going to be able to do on the first night here after midnight. And it's something that you might not know you can actually do on the first 3-day cycle. I've spent a while trying to figure out what all you can do as early as possible with this game. And I definitely still don't know absolutely everything. There are so many little interactions in this game that even I don't know still. But if there's stuff that you do know that I miss as we go, I'd love to hear them. I love hearing stuff like that. I learned quite a few cool things throughout my Wind Waker Let's Play that I didn't know about. Wait, hang on. This is my private property. Don't try using it when I'm not around. I've already sold out of my wares, and the carnival hasn't even begun. I'm thinking of closing up shop so I can buy a gift for my wife and return to her in my village. I've heard that a stone called the Moon's Tear shines brighter than any other in the land. If you've got one, I'd really like to get it from you. My wife would love it. If you give it to me, I'll give you my spot here, Deku Flower included. So we'll go ahead and give him the Moon's Tear. Ah, that stone. You must hand it over to me. In exchange, I'll give you my spot here, Deku Flower included, yes? And we'll get the land title deed. It really helped me out. Now I have the perfect souvenir for my wife. She hasn't set eyes on a jewel or strange sparkling stone like this in a very long time. The title deed for this spot should be in high demand among Deku Scrubs, but you already know that. If you don't need it anymore, you can always sell it. So, the title deed is something that we're going to put to use today, but it's also something we're going to have to do again later on in the game. I probably won't do that till... I mean, at minimum, after the 3rd dungeon. There's only 4 dungeons in the game, so... You know, it's going to be a pretty long time before then. But now we can use this Deku Flower, and the yellow ones will launch you much higher, and we can access the door to the top of the tower now. And you can also acquire the first of 52 pieces of heart. By far the most in any Zelda game. The clock tower opens only once a year at midnight on the eve of the carnival, which will be the night of the final day. So we have finished all of the required stuff. The rest of today is going to be optional things, and just to point out, you can't actually grab this ledge. It's why you need the flower. So first thing I'm going to do is come over to East Clocktown, because what we can do is head up here and put our title deed to use at midnight. So if we get onto the roof, this is the Stockpot Inn. This is a location we're going to be coming back to a good number of times throughout the game. But at night, if you sneak in through the top, because the door right there is actually locked, you can head back here to the bathroom, and once it strikes midnight, so I'm not going to cut because we're close enough anyway, something is going to pop out, and you probably know about this. It's a pretty commonly known thing about this game. Paper, please! And we can give them the title deed. It's a piece of paper. It works. Yeah! Oh, you saved me. This fell down here. I'll give it to you. And there we go. There's piece of heart number 2. So very nice. Yeah, it's so weird, but I really love that little interaction. It's something that came back in Skyward Sword too. So next up, we actually need to go finish the minigame. That is the only other thing left for us to do within this first cycle. So what I'm going to show you is a good way to skip time, even on this first cycle, if you want to get to the final day immediately. If you come to... This is the Curiosity Shop, right? The trading post, it's going to be the one with the Rupee wallet here. We're going to head on inside. And to your left is a Scarecrow. There's also one at the bottom of the Astral Observatory. If you talk to him, he will pass time to the next morning or the next evening. So we're going to go ahead and dance till dawn of the second day so that we can play the minigame again. Luckily, we have a lot of money, so we can try the minigame a couple times if I keep failing. Oh yeah, how was it? It went by in an instant, right? I'm still full of energy. If you like, baby, we can forget the time and dance until night. Shall we dance? No. By the way, I know of a mysterious song that allows you to manipulate the flow of time. Do you want to learn it? Well, let's say yes, just to hear it. Oh yeah, now listen up. If you play that strange song backward, you can slow the flow of time, and if you play each note twice in a row, you can move a half day forward through time. How's that? Pretty interesting, isn't it? But I'm sure I'd like any song written by you better, baby. If you like, you can play one for me. So yeah, we're gonna take that advice to heart once we get the Ocarina of Time back. So now that we're on the second day, we can go play this little mini game once again. And after the second day's version of it, I'm just going to skip immediately to the third day's. That way, I can cut a few minutes out of this video at least, because it's going to be quite long, definitely over 30 minutes. But here we go. Let's play once again. Try setting a new record again today, young Clink. Sure. So, as you can see, on day one, the platforms just moved up and down, and now they are moving around in, well, it's not really a circle, but, you know, big squares, and you have to time your falls onto them. The way I like to do it on day two is go into the center one here, or the second row, and what we're going to do is we're going to sit here and wait until we can get that outer one and then come back into the middle. So I'm going to go on ahead and pop out here, and then we're just going to sit here and wait on the platform, do that, and then we need to do the same process. This is usually the safest way I've found to do this, so you have to be really careful though, and then we can just get the two in the center. So these two can be odd, but essentially drop in, sit still, wait, drop, done. So just gotta play it one more time. There is our 50 rupees, and I will be back for the final days, and I'm also going to deposit some money on the way, so I will be right back. Okay, so deposit some money, I've advanced to the final day, and now we can do the final version of this minigame. So this is going to be a mixture of what we've seen up to this point. Some of them are going to be moving around in the square, and some of them are moving up and down. It's pretty simple, honestly. So we're going to just do what we did before, and we're going to just drop onto the platform. What the heck? How did that happen? Alright. Well, guess we're doing it again. See, this is why I still kept a bit of money on me. Okay. So we're just gonna have to wait. I do believe the platforms are moving faster. That is one thing to note. So we're just gonna drop on. Okay, good. And then we're gonna go on to this one. I want to hurry to get on before the platform gets over here. Oh my god, that was so close. I probably played that way riskier than I should have, but it's fine. And then we're gonna sit and wait for this to go back down. See, we didn't even have to drop, we just had to wait. And then these are a lot higher up, but it's fine. We're just gonna wait and drop. And then there we go. We're done. So now that we've played it on all 3 days, amazing, a new record, and for 3 days straight, wow, we've been had. Well, you're obviously a pro, and pros can't play here. Take this and don't come back. There is Piece of Heart number 3. Such a youthful face, but we were really dealing with a fierce competitor, and I love this. They hide in fear from you now. So with that, we have completed everything in the first 3 days, but we are going to go through all the cutscenes and story stuff that we can do today. But I'm also going to point out one more thing that I'm going to do before we end off. Or, well, not end off, but you know what I mean, considering what I just said. We are going to talk to our good friend Tingle here. This is Tingle's first appearance within the series. Let's go ahead and speak to him. What's this, green clothes, white fairy? Sir, could you by chance be a forest fairy? Oh my, and my name is Tingle. Think I am the same as you, sir, a forest fairy. Alas, though I am already age 35, no fairy has come to me yet. My father tells me to grow up and act my age, but why? I tell you, Tingle is the very reincarnation of a fairy. Now, while I stand here waiting for a fairy of my own, I sell maps to help out my father. Lucky, lucky, you're so lucky to have a fairy. I know, we should be friends. Yes, yes. In exchange, I will sell you a map. For cheap, as a sign of my friendship. So we're gonna buy his Clocktown map. It's only 5 rupees. And you're gonna need to buy maps from Tingle throughout the game for the various areas if you want to have the map at least. So that's going to unveil a little bit of the map here on the map screen, and we also have the mini-map in the bottom right corner of the screen. I'm also going to collect some rupees here, because my goal is to actually reach 200 before the end of this cycle. So here is what I like to do at this point. I usually go back to West Clocktown and advance to night of the final day. I wanted to show doing this one instead of just going straight to it and playing the minigame, because the Scarecrow has a unique version after you do the dance, so we're gonna go ahead and dance till night. Oh yeah, how was it? It went by in an instant, right? I'm still full of energy, but outside it seems to have gotten kind of dangerous. Yikes, I'm getting out of town. Take care. I know of a mysterious song that allows you to manipulate the flow of time, but we already know it, so yeah, we'll see him off and he will disappear. So, we cannot do anything until midnight, so what I like to do at this point is spend all the way till midnight grinding rupees in North Clocktown. Since I have to wait anyway, might as well use the time to get some money. So I just kind of spin into the bushes over and over and reload the area until midnight hits, so I'm going to do just that and see you guys once midnight gets here. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock and I've practically maxed out on rupees almost, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to deposit 94, and I'm going to show you another 50 that you can get if you don't want to spend time farming. So we'll go on ahead and put these in. And this will put us over 200, meaning we get our first reward. Well, little guy, here's your special gift. Take it. The adult wallet. So, we can already hold 200 rupees before even exiting the first cycle, which is fantastic. If you're wondering why I'm getting so many rupees, it's because, one, I'm going to put them to use pretty quick. But two, we are going to need to save up 5,000 with her to get a heart piece by the end of the game. But if you use that flower and come over here, this tower will only be done being built on day 3. But in the chest, you'll get a purple 50 rupee, which is pretty nice. That chest over there, we're not going to be able to get till a lot later in the game. But yeah, it's an extra 50 rupees if you want it. And now that it's midnight, we can finish the first 3 days. Which, I know this is a very long video. This is probably the longest part I'm going to do in this entire series. But I want to get, you know, truly into the game on the third part, which, I mean, I already feel like I'm doing just so much already, but, you know, it's still very much learning time and tutorials, which I don't really expect most people to do all this stuff in the first cycle, but I do kind of want to show just how much you can actually do if you actually go for everything. And there might still be stuff that you can do that I don't know about, but we'll go on ahead and deposit this last 50, and we can hear the final hours theme. This is one of my favorite tracks in the Zelda game. I love how much this captures the essence of the game, because you'll notice the moon is much closer. It really feels like the end of the world, and it's fantastic. But here we go. Let's go confront Skull Kid. What's this? Ah, Tail, we've been looking for you two. Hey, Skull Kid, what if you gave that mask you're wearing back now? Hey, come on, are you listening? Swamp, mountain, ocean, canyon. Hurry. The 4 who are there, bring them here. Don't speak out of line, stupid fairy. No, what are you doing to my brother? Skull Kid, do you think you're still our friend after that? Well, whatever. Even if they were to come now, they wouldn't be able to handle me. Just look above you. If it's something that can be stopped, then just try to stop it. And what we need to do is fight him with the power of Snot. And that'll get him to drop the Ocarina of Time. Hooray! You got back the Ocarina of Time. It's not Saria's stupid fairy ocarina. Okay, that was uncalled for. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude to Saria. You're already leaving this land of Hyrule, aren't you? Even though it was only a short time, I feel like I've known you forever. I'll never forget the days we spent together in Hyrule, and I believe in my heart that a day will come when I shall meet you again. Until that day comes, please, take this. I am praying that your journey be a safe one. If something should happen to you, remember this song. This melody, lingering on the edges of your mind as a song of memories of Princess Zelda. Also, I don't want to be speaking too much in these cutscenes, but if you feel it is overly blurry, that is not my recording software or YouTube. That is just something that seems to happen with the recomp as of right now. It's really my only major gripe with it. Other than that, it works great though. But just be warned about cutscenes like that. Snap out of it. What are you doing lost in memories? Get yourself together. Getting that old ocarina back isn't going to help us. Somebody, anybody, goddess of time, help us, please. We need more time. So, pull out the ocarina. Well, you get that instrument, and you'll pull out the Deku pipes instead. So, go on ahead and play the Ocarina of Time. Or not the Ocarina of Time, the Song of Time. But I do want to mention, at least on the version I'm playing, for some reason, so you can play the ocarina with the D-pad on this version, but down does not work. It'll like make the note and you'll hear it, but it won't register in the song. So I actually have to use the R button because that's what I have set to C down. But it's a minor little thing. But yeah, playing the Song of Time is going to reset time for us, and we will go back. But with that, I think that it is finally time that we end this video here. So, actually, I'll let Tattle speak. What just happened? Everything has... started over? What are you anyway? That song you played? That instrument? That instrument! Wait, that's it, your instrument. The mask salesman said if you ever got back the precious thing that was stolen from you, he could return you to normal. Did you completely forget or what? So yeah, with that, I will end this part here, and I will see you guys next time, where we will return ourselves back to normal. See you then. Bye-bye.